All right, so I'm getting ready to leave the Phoenix area. There's a lot that I'm gonna miss here. There were two board game clubs that I was going to. I made some very close friends there, and I did some gigs while I was here as well. I did some private tutoring. One of the clients I'm gonna continue to work with remotely. I'm gonna miss. I don't know if I ever showed on camera, but there's a trampoline park that I go to for exercise. Gonna miss doing that. And then there was a Mexican restaurant that I frequented while I was here. Gonna miss that as well because it's hard enough to get somebody who can prepare food that is suitable for me, and then to make a close connection. That's a very rare event in my life, although I'm getting better at it. There is one thing I'm not gonna miss though, and this one really bothers me more than it deserves to. I have a roommate who's just incredibly quiet. I mean, he comes in and out. I think he accidentally took the forks from our kitchen. I had complained about that a few videos ago. After I complained about it, the forks magically reappeared. I'm guessing that he didn't think it was a big deal, took them to his workplace, forgot to bring them home, didn't think it was a big deal until he learned that I used to have an eating disorder, and 2 years ago I might have murdered somebody over that. And when he heard that, I think the forks just magically reappeared. But other than that, he's so quiet. He wakes up, he goes to the fridge to grab his lunch, and then he heads out the door. He comes back, doesn't say a word. It just really bothers me. I mean, I tried to drive the conversation a few times, hoping that would just jumpstart the engine. He still comes in very quiet. Now, that wasn't the worst roommate I ever had, though. The worst one was 2 years ago. At the time, I was in a relationship, and I was mourning the loss of my single life because I was planning to propose to my girlfriend last year when Jupiter and Saturn came into conjunction. I was planning to propose to her on that day, but obviously the world had other plans for us. So at the end of 2019, I was mourning the loss of my single life. Now, my roommate had just broken up with his girlfriend, and he was really depressed for days. Like he would binge watch stuff all day and all night, and drove me nuts because I would have loved to be in his shoes, but he's not enjoying it. And then one day he accidentally locked his room key in his room, and he wants me to help him with prying the door open. He asked me if I had some tools and all that. And it really shouldn't have been all that drama to me. I think I was upset that he has something that I wanted and he wasn't enjoying it. That always bothers me. When somebody has all the right cards in the world and they're not playing them right, that always bothers me. And I ended up getting so depressed that I think I got into a significant argument, and I checked out of that place. It was a long-term Airbnb that I had found, and I didn't renew it because it just became a huge downer for me. But I'm very lucky to only have these two stories to share about, because earlier today, as I was looking at other Airbnbs, I was looking up on YouTube warning signs to avoid, and then I see people who sign leases together and their roommate doesn't pay, and they get into these huge dramas. They destroy stuff because of that. People who have meth addicts who punch holes in the wall, and then they end up having to foot the bill because they're on the lease together. And then all I'm complaining about is forks disappearing. My roommate won't talk to me. My roommate doesn't take breaking up gracefully. That's all I'm complaining about. So I feel very fortunate in that regard too. Anyway, has your roommate ever driven you crazy over silly things?